All right, welcome. Good morning, guys. We are here for the final review of why we need prayer. And as I said before, your purpose cannot live without it. So we did a developing a lifestyle of prayer training back in October of 2016. We did that training, and God just laid it upon my heart for me to do a review of the training. So we did one night, we did the first night, and the first night was on prayer itself. You know, why we need prayer. What is prayer and why do we need it? Why should we want prayer? What is the point of prayer? And of course, you know, we have purpose, we have destiny. There are all kinds of reasons we could pray, but, you know, I think that's the problem. I think we look at all the reasons we do pray or all the reasons we could pray and completely miss out the reasons why we should be praying. And we're going to talk a little bit about that too in this particular review. Night 2 was talking about passion and how passion fuels prayer, or how it fuels your purpose. Because, you know, when I was called into prayer, it wasn't at the time back in 2013. I wasn't going into prayer because, you know, I just had such a powerful relationship with God. I actually was going into prayer because I was facing a lot of challenges emotionally, spiritually, financially, and I needed an answer. I needed some help. I needed some real guidance. And at that time, I didn't just want guidance, and I didn't just want to walk away from it. I wanted guidance to get to a place of, you know, consistency. So I'm not running into the same problem, challenge, lack over and over, because that's what prayer really will help us with. It will help us stop hitting the same brick wall year after year after year, or coming to that same stop sign year after year after year. And so sometimes it can build up so bad, and you hit this stop sign year after year after year, and now you just have added troubles, added woes, added requests. It's like, you know, it's so much going on by this time. So I wanted to get to the place this time, at that time in 2013, that I got the help, I got the guidance, but, you know, the guidance that's going to take me away from the vicious revolving door, or that vicious cycle of hitting rock bottom. So, you know, night 2 was about passion. So when you start developing a lifestyle of prayer and you start getting into prayer and into God's presence, you develop a passion to want to seek Him out. You develop passion to want to better yourself. You desire correction. You desire, I don't want to say you desire rebuke, because I don't think anyone desires rebuke, but you seek to find the things that are wrong, you know, so that you don't have them in your life, you know, so it doesn't keep you bound. So you seek, you know, a resolution, a real resolution to your problem or your dilemma. So that's why passion is so important. Hi, Tasha. So good to see you. God bless you. I hope all is well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please share, please like, please send up the hearts. Let me know you're here. So passion, you know, you begin to get passionate about, you know, seeking out the presence of God, seeking out correction, seeking out guidance to be better, so that you are not in the same place that you are today next year. And so we talked about passion. We went over that. And now this is the last review. It was supposed to be last night, but, you know, I had a lot going on. My daughter got sick. My daughter still is sick. She has an ear infection, we think. So we have to make sure we go and tackle that. But it was a lot going on last night. So last night would have been night 3, but today is night 3. Today is the final review, the final class of why we need prayer. So why do we need prayer? Because your purpose cannot live without it. This page is dedicated, this broadcast, this ministry is dedicated to knowing what your purpose is. It's dedicated to tapping into your purpose via prayer, okay? I want to say that again. This page is solely dedicated to your purpose, knowing what your purpose is, walking in your full purpose via prayer, getting you there. Because there's no other way. There's no other way you're going to know what you are called to do. There's no other way you're going to know what God is calling you to, specifically you. What has God called you to without going through prayer? Guys, without going through prayer. First, you have to develop a lifestyle, a committed lifestyle of prayer. Hold on one second. Go. All right, sorry about that, guys. So prayer is the only thing that's going to get us there. And so understanding what your purpose is, knowing how it's going to help you, knowing why you have it, understanding why you have it, tapping into all your gifts that you have before you even knew what your purpose was. Prayer helps you develop that. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about your actual purpose and why, or how do we know what our purpose is, and how do we tap into that purpose, and why prayer is so crucial, why prayer is, such a necessity. It's crucial. It's the most vital piece to understanding and chasing your purpose and knowing what your purpose is and being completely sold out to it. So Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 8 reads, "They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when he comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries. In a year of drought, it never fails to bear fruit." And honestly, that is the foundation of your purpose. That's the foundation of who you are. We're supposed to be connected to the true vine. And if we're connected to the true vine, okay, we will understand, we will know what our purpose is. And not only will we know what our purpose is, but our purpose will live, okay? The way we connect to God is through prayer. The way we connect to God is through communication. The way we connect to God is through relationship. And our relationship, just for a lot of people that are out there, a lot of our relationship skills suck, okay? We suck at communicating. We suck at building lasting, long, healthy relationships in the world. We suck at intimacy. A lot of us, we really think intimacy is about sex and pleasure, and it's not. But again, we tend to bring the way we operate in the world, how we communicate, how we have relationship, how we, have intimacy. We bring that mindset, we bring that behavior right into our prayer closet. And then we think our little bit or our intimacy or our idea of pleasure, and we try to bring that into the prayer closet to get what we want to get from God. And it's not about getting. And I know maybe that's going to sound a lot left for people who say, well, we bring our petitions to God. We pray about things to God. We, asking all things in prayer and through prayer. And I get that. I'm not saying you're not supposed to ask for things in prayer. I'm not saying you don't go and get things, but that should not be your drive. That should not be your reason. That should not be your motive. Prayer is communication. Prayer is relationship. Prayer is intimacy. And if you understand what that is, it's not about getting. It's not about pleasure seeking. It's about building a friendship, a relationship with God. That's what it's really all about. And it may sound, hi, good morning, Lakeisha. It may sound dry. It may sound, well, that's not exciting. And I think that's what the church really needs to be talking about as the body of Christ. It's not about pulling a lever when we go into prayer, pulling this lever and getting all these goodies, or hitting the jackpot when we go into prayer, because those things are a given. And I think once we start talking about relationship, then we can really start talking about what you deserve. Because many of us don't deserve half the stuff that we're asking God for. To be perfectly honest, many of us don't need what we're asking for, because it's going to keep us further away from the truth. It's going to keep us in a place of bondage. Many of us are seeking out things now, partnership, amen. Many of us are seeking out things to please other people that mean absolutely nothing to God, meaning I don't care if you don't have certain things so that you can glorify yourself, or I don't care if you don't have certain things to, try to show off or pull something off to someone, because many of us want things to show the world that we have it going on. And God doesn't want to continuously feed our flesh in that way. God wants to make us whole. He wants us connected to Him. He wants our hearts positioned to Him. And so if we are praying and seeking God, then our purpose, we will understand what our purpose is. It will be revealed to us, and then we will be able to be whole, and we will be able to impart and give what we have been given to the world. And it's also to help them stay whole and to remain whole. So we will never lose if we are connected by prayer. Our purpose will never ever go through a dry season. Our purpose is whole. Now, we may face some dry seasons, meaning our flesh may attack us. The world and all the circumstances going on may, oppress us at times. But our purpose our purpose when we are connected to God through prayer, our purpose never loses its flavor. It never loses its power. Sometimes we can fall, we can get weak in our body, we can get weak in our spirit, and that's why we constantly have to stay in prayer so that our purpose can be fully active. And so Jeremiah 17 verse 8 reads, "They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit." That's what your purpose will do. That's what you will look like, operating in purpose, connected to the true vine, connected to God through prayer. Your purpose, is very mature. And this gets a little, heavy for some people, but you have to really be hearing with the Spirit of God. So this is going to require some mature, listening. So your purpose does not, come to you, halfway. Your purpose is very mature. Okay. Even though you are not accessing it, your purpose is there. It's waiting to be unlocked. It's waiting to be exposed. It's waiting to be tapped into. Your purpose is ready. Okay. It comes to you already knowing what it's supposed to be. Your purpose for your life, God has a spiritual DNA inside of you. You have a spiritual DNA inside of you. It's your purpose. It's why you are here. Why am I here? What am I called to do? But it cannot be opened or accessed until you have tapped into God, until you have had a relationship with Him, and He can speak to you and tell you what you've been called to do, and you're ready to receive it and operate in it. And that's a lot right there, because that in itself is a process. To be able to understand or hear God tell you what you've been called to do, for you to receive it, and then for you to become active in it. So your purpose is waiting for you to tap into it. Okay. I know it sounds strange, but God said your purpose is connected to Him. Your purpose is connected to Him, so it's not connected to man. So no man is going to be able to fulfill your purpose. No man is going to be able to tell you what your purpose is. And I know we have universities, we have colleges, we have all kinds of self-help groups, and we have all these people out here motivating us and, possibly giving us the hope that they can tell us what our purpose is. And they can probably look at you and see what you do well, see what you do great, and they may say from those things, I think you should do this, and they may be on it and
and close, but it's only God who can reveal your true purpose, because we can have a lot of gifts and it can be it can operate in a lot of areas of life, but where is it supposed to operate? How are we supposed to use it? Where is it supposed to be active truly, okay, destiny wise? And when we talk about destiny, a lot of us don't really want to go into destiny and go into purpose and fulfillment, because it requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of faith. It requires a lot of sacrifice. It requires a lot of faith and trust. It requires a relationship. You have to have a relationship with God through prayer that will help you get through and operate in your purpose 100%. Okay? So your purpose is connected to God. Okay? Your calling never, we talk about, what am I called to do? And we say this a lot. And then we don't know what we're called to do. And then we wait on what we are called to do. And we keep waiting and believing God to hear from him. And we go about it the wrong way, because some of us just want to be told what we are called to do. Like, what am I called to do, God? And God says, you're called to do this. And it doesn't work that way, because many of us are in this position in our mind where we already have a mind to think what we're called to do. So God has to first change your mind to even receive the purpose, to receive what he's called you to do. Because if God said, I want you to do A, B, C, or D, or I want you to walk away from the home that you're in, that you spent in the last 10 years, your house is paid off, okay? I want you to leave this home. I want you to get a new home in this particular area, and I want you to feed the homeless. What? So you wouldn't do it. I'm just going to say, just for sake of argument, you would not do it. You have to get to the place where you are broken down so that your mind is changed. God gives you a new mind. God gives you new eyes. God stretches your faith, and you have discernment, and you are ready to receive that kind of word, that kind of instruction, that kind of call on your life. So, you have to understand that it's a relationship with God. So your purpose or your calling never gets ready for you. You must get ready for it. So you have to be mature. So your purpose can't fully be accessible to you until you are ready to allow it to operate inside of you. Okay? You cannot even operate in your purpose if you are not ready to receive your purpose. So what does that mean? Prayer gives you access, okay, to God, which God then will come in and do a deep root fertilizing. He will dig in your roots. He will dig up. He will weed out the things that you don't need. He will dig up the things that you do need, and he will begin to tell you what you're called to do. And layer by layer by layer, he will till your ground and make your soil ready to receive your purpose. Your purpose is the seed. Remember, we talked about that, I think it was in the first night. Okay, many of us think, we're the seed, and you're not. You're the soil. Okay, the seed is your purpose. That's the star of the show. So that's why God wants us to be soil seed ready. Soil seed ready. So that way we can receive our purpose and be fully operational, okay, whole and complete to pull off what God has called us to do, okay? So we have to be mature. Excuse me. Our soil has to be ready to receive the purpose. We have to be ready to receive the purpose, okay? So prayer gives you access to the inside connect. Okay, you become friends with the man, okay? And I don't think we don't really talk about becoming friends with God. Do you know that God wants us to be friends? He loves his friends. He wants us to be connected to him, a relationship. We are his beloved. And you think about regular friendships. You think about how much time we put in regular friendships. You think about how much time we really invest in one another. People that we call our friends. People that we call our day ones. People that we say we love. We are terrible. We are terrible with it because we really believe that, friendship is about, getting a lot of times, we are self-seeking, You know, we want to be a benefactor. You know, it's about self. It's about what I can gain from this person. It's not about a dance. It's not about a relationship. It's not about, you know, communicating, real communication and building and going somewhere together. And that's what friendship is. And Lakeisha said something, and she said partnership. It's about partnership. And many of us, when the times get tough, we break away from people. We break away from our friends. We break away from those partnerships because we think it's not serving me any good. It's not doing me any good. And I get it. There are some things that are very obvious when people are not doing you any good. Okay. But if they're not doing you any good, instead of them not doing you any good, I can see if they're adding negativity, if they're adding toxicity. But, you know, we got to really, I guess, pick away at doing me any good. Sometimes, you know, your friends don't come just to serve you only. It's about serving one another. It's about being there for them when they can't be there for themselves, when they can't give anything to you. It's about being there for them. So when we seek out God in a partnership, in a relationship, it truly is about being there, giving to God, and God receiving what you have, you receiving from God what he has. It's back and forth. It's a dance. It's rhythmic, okay? It's give and it's take, okay? And let me tell you something right now, just something very powerful about prayer. You will find out in prayer, when you develop a true lifestyle of prayer and you are connected to God, that you give less and God gives more all the time. You give less and God gives you more. You give less than what you are given back from God. You make a small step, God takes 100 steps, okay, towards you. You give and you sacrifice a little, God rewards you with a lot, okay? That's just God's nature, okay? And it's almost like he wants you to understand that, you know, being connected to me is the best thing you can do, okay? He returns double, triple what you give, okay? We talk about, you know, in the hood, in the street, you know, flipping money and flipping houses. Come on, you get with God, you have a little, God's going to increase it. He's going to flip it and give you triple for you taking certain steps, for you making certain sacrifices. And prayer, okay, will only tap you in to what God has called you to do. It will only tap you into that purpose where you will constantly receive from your purpose, because you know we don't want to do anything where there's no return from it, okay? You don't want to be involved in anything and connected to anything or anybody that's not going to, you know, you're not going to see a return. You know, you're not going to be reciprocated. Some things aren't going to be reciprocated. So in prayer, working out your purpose, trust me, the purpose that you have is going to give back. Whether it's giving back to people, whether it's giving back to you, it's going to give you back, and it's going to give you back increase. It's going to be double, triple fold what you expected it to be, okay? And we get into things now that don't give us any payback. It doesn't give us any return, and we are committed to those things. I don't know if we're committed to the pain. I don't know if we're committed to, you know, the possibility, but it's a 100% guarantee. If you are connected to God through prayer, tuning into your purpose, that purpose is going to give you something back. It's going to provide a return. It's going to provide a harvest. It's going to provide an abundance to you. It's going to provide provision, and the provision is for you, but it's also to sustain the purpose. What God gives back to you through prayer is designed to sustain your purpose. It feeds your purpose. It helps you to go where, you know, where the resources are for your purpose. It's going to help nurture your purpose. It's going to help protect your purpose, for the longevity of your purpose to go beyond the years that it's supposed to go further than what you were ever expected to go. And many of you don't understand. It has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with, you know, you drink water and you work out every day. Some of you, whether you exercise or whether you don't, do you know it's just your purpose point blank period that keeps you alive. It's just your purpose, what God has called you to do that has extended your years. It's just straight up your purpose that will have you endure and outlive some folk. It has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with whether you take yoga or spin class or do Zumba, or you are a vegan, or you pray 10, 20, 30 times a day. It's all about what God has called you to do. And until that purpose is fulfilled, okay, or if you become a reprobate and you just don't care about it and you're just completely 100% rebellious and disobedient to God and tune him out completely, that's another story. But if God has called you to do something and you have yet to do it, God is going to make sure that it gets done. And when you start becoming active in your purpose, that will be the reason you get up every single day. That will be the reason that you are watching right now, is because you have purpose. And if you're watching right now, it's because God wants you to know that your prayer life is solely connected to unlocking your purpose and walking in your purpose and making sure your purpose is fed with prayer, fed with his knowledge, and fed with his guidance. Okay, so we have to understand why prayer is so important. So prayer gives you access to the inside connect. You become friends with the man, okay? God gives you vision, and when he gives you vision, okay, you say to yourself when you're trying to find out what your purpose is, you never in a million years thought you would be doing this. And that's what purpose is. Purpose is giving you a revelation of what you've been called to do. It unlocks, oh my God, I never thought that I could do this, or I never thought I would be doing this. It completely reveals and exposes that place in your spirit, that place inside you that you have yet to access. And then when it opens up, it's like, whoa, I didn't even know. I would never even have thought. But that's what prayer does. It unlocks and exposes your purpose that's deeply embedded. It's deeply rooted inside. And you will say to yourself, I never thought that I would be doing this. Okay. And that's your flesh saying that to yourself, like, I never thought that I would be doing this, because you never tapped into it. You never developed a lifestyle of prayer, and you never let God reveal it to you. Okay. That's when your true calling, you get a glimpse of your true calling and what you are called to do. Purpose is what God has intended for your life, not what you see yourself doing. Okay. Come with me on that, because if we're looking with our natural eyes, we can't see the purpose that God has for us. It's not until we tune into prayer that we see what God has for us. So sometimes, okay, we're looking with our natural eyes, so we can't see our true calling. We can't see our life or destined calling in life. So purpose is what God has intended for your life, okay, the life that he has given you. Okay, not what you see yourself doing. Sometimes you can't even walk into your purpose because you're just too immature. Point blank, period. Sometimes you just cannot walk into your purpose, see your purpose, understand your purpose, know what your purpose is, because you're just too immature. Your purpose will see opportunity where there is none. Your purpose will see a blessing where there is a drought. Okay, your flesh always sees failure, whereas your purpose sees opportunity. Your purpose, hi Sean. Hey sis. Okay, your purpose sees greatness. Okay, your flesh always sees the opposite of greatness. It sees mediocrity. It doesn't see that you'll be great. It's like, no, you're not going to be what? No, you're not going to make it. No, you're not going to do anything great. Okay, that's your flesh talking to you. But your purpose sees greatness. Your purpose sees opportunity. Your purpose sees an opportunity to love and to grow. That, I'm telling you right there, your purpose, when you tap into purpose through prayer, prayer will access and open up love and maturity. It will allow you to mature in God, and it will allow you to love in God. Why? How? Because God is love and God is maturity. Okay? God is whole. And so what happens is when you get before God in prayer, real prayer, lifestyle, okay, of prayer, committed prayer, passionate prayer, daily prayer, consistent prayer, relationship-driven prayer, you're going to be exposed to God's love and his maturity. Can someone give me the charger, please? Out of my room. Okay, your flesh, okay, your flesh sometimes is not ready for that. Okay, so instead of your flesh seeing the opportunity to love and to grow, your flesh sees hurt and pain, and all things are going to remain the same. That's what your flesh is going to tell you. Your flesh is going to tell you, no, this is going to hurt. This is going to be painful. You know, this is not what we're trying to do right now. And I don't see the reason for it. Okay, that's too much of me that God is requiring of me. The opportunity to truly love, to be exposed to a real love. Because once you're exposed to true love, agape love, love that's unconditional, you will begin to give that same kind of love, unconditional love. And it's a humbling experience. And many of us don't like to be humbled. Okay, so our flesh will see any reason to not love like God loves, and not to be whole the way God is, and not to grow, because growth doesn't always feel good. Growth is learning to turn your cheek. Growth is avoiding arguments. Growth is, blessing those that curse you. Growth is holding your tongue and not starting up, fights, and, where there's anger, turn away from anger, turn away from wrath, using peace, using love to calm all kinds of anger and all kinds of chaos, walking away from things that, you like, but God is saying is not good for you right now, turning away from things, okay? Growth, maturity brings you to this place that's going to cut some things out of your life, okay? Or like God let me see, he gave me this revelation of growth or maturity or ascension or going up, okay? And sometimes we think about the cutting away. And God said to me the other day, or a couple months ago, I always say other day when I mean like a couple months ago, but God said to me a couple months ago, he said, trust the cut. And trust the cut, what he's trying to tell me is, things, when you grow or when you go high in God through prayer, because that's what's going to happen, not just the spiritual, take me higher, higher, higher. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a real elevation in your way of thinking and operating and moving. The way you handle your life, the way you communicate with people, the way you don't communicate with people, the way you engage, the way you handle your business. There is a growth and a level of maturity that comes when you start developing a lifestyle of prayer. And get ready for people to not understand it. Get ready for people to say that you're crazy for behaving and responding a certain way, because a lot of times the way you respond, it's not going to be a common response that people are used to. People are used to seeing the flesh raise up and take control and have dominion. But when your flesh is not in control and prayer is in control in your life, which gives God control of your life, you respond the way God will respond. You respond the way your spirit man is supposed to respond in maturity, sometimes walking away from situations that you can't control, okay? Not trying to change things that you can't, allowing God to change people. Come on, that's very hard for some. Allowing God to give people revelation where we just want to beat revelation into people. Sometimes our purpose is not to change people. It's to bring love into their life. It's to bring healing into their life. It's to bring peace into their life and joy and hope. Chance, another chance, an opportunity, okay? Allow your spirit that you carry, allow the Spirit of God to do the conforming and the converting, okay? Our purpose is to show the glory of God. I was once in a bad situation. I was once there where you were, through testimony, through confession, okay? Through transparency, through humility, and then God will do the rest, okay? And growth, when you're going up, immediately things fall away from you. It's automatic. And sometimes we just think about the cut. We just think about the things falling away. We just think about the separation. And so we get intimidated by that. Oh, I don't want to lose this. I don't want to give up that. I don't want to stop doing that. And that's not what it's about. You got to focus on God, because with elevation, you're not even going to think about the things that necessarily fall away. Even though you're going to notice it, you're not going to be focused on the things that fall away, because elevation brings things away from you. It severs things. It separates you from things. So it's just automatic. Okay, so your purpose is greater than your adversary. Purpose over promise. We talked about that before, and I'll just touch on it very briefly. I believe that your purpose should be more, you should be concerned more about your purpose than the promises of God. Because if you're connected to your purpose through prayer, if you're living out your purpose, your true purpose, the promises are going to come. Okay? And many of us get so focused on getting promises and getting the reward that we don't even know why we're getting the reward. It's like, why am I being rewarded right now? I don't care. I just want to get the reward. No, but if you're tuned into your purpose, if you know what you're doing that's getting you that reward, don't you want, I mean, if we want to make it plain, if you're getting a reward for doing something, don't you want to know how I can keep doing something to get the reward? I mean, I don't want to just get the reward and not know what I did to get the reward. I just want the reward. I just want the promise of God or the promises of God. So God let me know, if we tune into our purpose, it's a given you're going to get promises. And if you continue to fulfill your purpose, you're going to continue to get the promises of God. Okay? And some of us are, only attracted to the promise. So it's like, I just want the promise and deuces to everything else. No, I got what I wanted. Now that's it. And then the thing about that is, and that's why we don't know what our purpose is. And that's why we have, great moments here and then great falls there. We have, great years over here and then, many, many dry years after that. Or we're on and popping this year. We're blessed this year and it just seemed like God has left us the next year. And if you're walking in purpose, every year is a blessing. Every season you will bear fruit. Okay, God will never stop by your fig tree and not see you abundant or not see you producing. Okay, that goes back to the scripture. It goes back to Jeremiah 17:8. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when he comes. Okay, when there's a drought, when the land is dry, okay, its leaves are always green. I'm always green, baby. I'm always producing. I'm always making. I'm always with something. That's, you're not, you become the lender and not the borrower. You always got fruit. You always got word. You always got, something that's going to feed the people or sustain yourself. You are never dry. Your cabinets are never bare. And that's why it's just so important to be in prayer and be connected to the true vine, because you don't fear when he comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails. Where is that scripture? And never fails to bear fruit. Who doesn't want that? I want to be connected to the true vine. I want to be connected to my purpose. Okay, I want to always produce, because if I'm always producing, then I never have to just wait on my promises of God. It's a given. Okay, so we have to make sure we understand that and understand how crucial prayer is to our purpose. Okay, so your purpose is greater than your adversary. Your purpose is greater than your opponent. Purpose over promise. Okay. Please know who you are in this season. 2017 is a mighty season. 2017 is the year of manifestation. It's the year of the sower. This is when God is clapping back. This is the year God is elevating people. This is the year God is manifesting some things. He's exposing you. He's going to give you great wealth, great increase. God is not just trying to expose you and elevate you so that your name can be known. God is trying to memorialize you. Okay, so please know who you are. It's the most important thing you can do. The only way you're going to know who you are is if you have a relationship with God. The only way you're going to have a relationship with God is if you develop a lifestyle of prayer. Okay, please know who you are. There is a time coming for leaders, and if you are not a leader, listen to me. If you are not a leader, it will show. Okay. Many times we see people being elevated really quickly, and we're, for some of us, we'll look at it and be like, oh God, when is it going to be my turn? Okay. God is saying there's a time for these leaders that have been exposed as leaders. You see them being elevated. You see them doing great things. Okay. There is a time coming for leaders. And if you are not a leader, it will show. You will be expected to perform and to lead. Okay. You're going to be required to do what you say you can do. you are going to be required to do why are you on this podium? Why do you have a mic? Okay, why do you have increase? Why do you have abundance? God is going to require that fruit, okay, to do what it's supposed to do, okay, to be fruit, to feed the people, okay, to provide nourishment, to give word, okay, to be whole, to be ripe. And you're going to be required to be that leader, okay? Now that you have this elevation, God is saying it's coming, okay? So you better know who you are, and you better know what your purpose is. You better be doing what God has called you to do. You will be expected to perform and to lead. You may even get the job. Listen, you may get the job, and you may even be positioned. Some of us look at people in position and we think, oh, God's just all over them. You got to be careful of looking at people just thinking God is all over them, because some people do all kinds of things to get the position. Some people get hookups. Some people know somebody that knows somebody and just put them in because they just put them in. Sometimes it ain't God. Sometimes it's just people. Sometimes it's just vanity. Sometimes it's just flesh that gets people in position. Okay? But it's coming a time where you're going to have to prove who you are. Okay? You're a leader. You're a minister. You're a prophet. God's going to come by and check out that fruit and inspect your fruit. Okay? So you may have, at some point, some leaders that have lied to get their position, okay? But God is going to come and check and inspect who you are. You don't want to be rich and no revelation. You don't want to be rich and have no revelation. You don't want to have money but no manna, okay? It's a blockage for today's saints and today's leaders. Rich, do you want to be rich or do you want to be received by God? Okay, so your purpose is so important that we are doing what we are called to do, and it's whole and it's effective, okay? And we're not just looking for the riches of man, okay? It can be a blockage for today's saints and leaders and prophets and teachers. Do you want to be rich or do you want to be received by God, okay? We want real miracles. We want real truth. We want real word, okay? We don't want to just perform, okay? We want to make sure that we are obedient to doing what God has called us to do, okay? We have to understand that with this purpose is going to come stress, okay? And we have to be able to stand throughout the seasons and throughout the dry seasons. We have to know who we are. We always have to know who we are. Why? Because the work is more important than the love we have for our friends. The ministry is more important. So the purpose, whether you have the support or not, your purpose is more important than the love that you receive from your friends. Kingdom work, kingdom ministry is more important than our friendships, than this world. We have to be solely committed and sold out to our purpose. Please know who you are. It's not a time in this season that we're just tripping through life and we're tripping through this year and expecting God to constantly be picking us up, okay, just to redirect us and to clean us up. We have to know who we are, and we have to walk confidently in that. And I'm telling you, that's what prayer will give you. Prayer will make you 100% confident. It will make you 100% knowledgeable of what God has called you to do. Developing a lifestyle of prayer will connect you to your purpose. It will connect you to your divine call, okay? And you have to stay connected to prayer. You have to stay connected to God so you know where you're going, so you can continue to move, continue to go forward, continue to receive the promises of God. So prayer is so important. I promise and I pray that God continues to move. I pray that God continues to encourage you and guide you along your path, along your journey. And I pray that you understand this, and I pray that you tap into this, because a lot of us, we are really struggling to understand what our purpose is, okay? And it's tough. 3 years ago, I knew I had an idea of what I was called to do. I knew God called me into ministry. That's what I would say all the time. God has called me into ministry. I know God has called me to teach. I know. But what was my purpose? Okay? What was the purpose for me being able to speak and minister and teach? Why is he calling me to minister? Why is he calling me to teach? He's calling me to help people. He's calling me to tap into their place of stuck, where they are stuck, where they can't move their feet anymore. When you come to the same brick wall year after year, God has called me to tap in to that place of stuck, to tap into that place to help them get from stuck to unstuck, to get their minds thinking, okay, motivating and encouraging them and uplifting them and sharing my story, sharing my past, sharing my pain, to promote you into the closet, to promote you into a lifestyle of prayer, because that's where your promotion is going to come. That's where your elevation is going to come, because God wants you not to seek validation from people or go to, training classes and self-help groups to find out who you are, for someone else to tell you who you are. God knows who you are, and you don't have to pay thousands of dollars to find that out. All you got to do is get on your knees. Only thing it's going to cost you is time. Time, sacrificing time, committed time, consistent time, building a relationship with God. My goodness, if you could really understand and grasp how important it is to develop a relationship with God. I mean, when you are friends with God, He will withhold nothing from you. No good thing will be withheld from you. Not only will He give you things, but He will, He will make you, and He will guide you, and He will build you up, and He will make sure that you don't have any things that are going to compromise your purpose and compromise your walk, okay? Compromise the ministry He's put inside of you. Every year you'll be a blessing. Every year you will be producing. Every year you will have provisions. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But we have to make the choice. Do we look to man to tell us who we are? Do we look to society to tell us who we are? Do we look at, what social media says that we should be? Women, are we looking to other women that we see on social media and say, you know what, they're getting this attention, maybe I should do that. I'm cuter than them. I'm smarter than them. I have more going for myself than them. I can take what they got. I can do that and just increase it. Or I can do what they do and make it better. Or how would you like to tune in to what God has for you? That way you don't have to mimic anyone, and you can make your own noise. You can be original. You can be authentic. Okay, you could be the first in your family to do things. You could be the first in your neighborhood, the first in your community. And then when you're the first somewhere, the head and not the tail, then God's going to say you're ready to take this word. You're ready to take that gift that you have. You're ready to take that purpose into the world, because you are bigger than your community. And I'll keep saying this because God keeps saying it to me. You are bigger than your community. You are bigger than your city, and you're bigger than your zip code, okay? God has given you a voice. You are not an echo. God has given you a voice. God has given you purpose that the earth needs, okay? The earth will call you what God has called you. Your enemy will call you what God has called you. Don't think about who's not listening, okay? Just focus your eyes on God. And God spoke to me this morning when I was in prayer. And God said to me, sometimes we get so consumed with what we're not doing, and we feel sometimes there's like a clog. Okay, there's a clog. Something's not moving for me. God, sometimes we feel like something's not moving, or things are not moving fast enough, or there is no movement. Okay, and God said to me, when you feel like there's no movement, or when you're feeling there's like a clog somewhere in your life, or a clog you've come up against, God is saying, look to the people, look at the other people that are in a place of receiving, okay? Celebrate the people that are moving in me. Celebrate the people that are being elevated, and celebrate them. And then you're going to see a breakthrough in your life, because sometimes God puts clogs in our life, and I don't know why God is taking me here, but sometimes God puts clogs in our life, I don't know how to explain it, because I'm just getting it. The way He's showing me is like a vessel in your heart. He's showing me a clogged vessel, or a clogged artery in your heart. And sometimes God is saying, sometimes we got to take a pause, because maybe our heart isn't operating somewhere. Maybe our heart needs to be, evaluated. Maybe we need to take inventory of our heart. Maybe God wants you to not look at what you don't have and start looking at what other people have, not in a way to covet, but look at how I'm moving. Look at what I'm doing in others' lives. Take a minute and just praise me and celebrate those that are receiving a breakthrough. Love someone else, okay? Be happy for someone else's elevation, okay? Be genuinely happy. Genuinely celebrate someone. And then what happens is, when you learn that, it's like a test. when you successfully learn how to love and celebrate others, then that clog is going to move. And now God is saying you're next. You know, you're next for the elevation. Okay, this test you've passed, and now you're ready for your breakthrough. Because if you can't love and celebrate others, how do you think, you know, you should be blessed? Where do you get off thinking, you know, it's just my turn. I want the blessing. I want elevation. Learn to celebrate people that are moving in God. You know, people go through a lot. I know you go through a lot. I go through a lot. And, you know, we think we're just as worthy as the next person is for our breakthrough or our turn and our time. And I get it. But, you know, they have gone through something. And we cannot discount, you know, another person's prayer life and another person's struggle and another person's pain. But because we are so self-absorbed sometimes, all we are worried about is our place of blessing and our victory and our celebration and our elevation and our time and our mic and our platform, you know, and my business and my book and, you know, all these things. But if you learn, Sakina, if you learn to celebrate others because they've sacrificed, you don't know what they've been through. You don't know how much they've suffered. You don't know they've been probably waiting 10, 15 years and you've been waiting 10 or 15 minutes. I want to say that again. Some people that are being blessed and elevated right in front of you, you're like tight about it, but they've been waiting 10 or 15 years where you have only waited 10 or 15 minutes. So celebrate people that are being blessed. Celebrate people that are walking into, you know, business and walking into opportunity and walking into leadership and walking into fulfillment, and they're walking into their purpose. God has a set time for everybody, and you will have your time. Your time is near. So appreciate the times when God sits you down and has you do a self-inventory of yourself. If you feel like there's a block or there's a clog in your life or in your blessing, celebrate someone else. While you're waiting, celebrate someone else. You know, genuinely celebrate your next person. Celebrate your peer. Celebrate your brother or sister in Christ. Celebrate your enemy. My goodness. I mean, celebrate them because, I mean, what else can you do? In the meantime, celebrate your enemy. Look at them advance. God, thank you. You know, be glad, because all of us are not deserving of anything, but it's God's grace and God's favor and God's mercy that gives us a seat at the table where we never should have had a place. So be blessed, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have the retreat coming up, and I'm so excited about it. Out of Prayer and Into Purpose is hosting its first annual women's retreat, Relax, Relate, Release. Please register. The retreat is May 19th through May 21st, and it's coming up. We're almost into April. So we got all of April, guys, to get our monies in and to register. If you haven't registered yet, please register. Do not hesitate. Do not delay. The seats are limited. Again, there is limited seating for this retreat. If you want to register, you can go to PayPal and register at yessir05@yahoo.com. Again, you can register via PayPal at yessir05@yahoo.com, or you can register at my webpage. Yay! Out of Prayer and Into Purpose Ministries webpage is www.outofprayer.org, and the flyer is there. The link is there to register. Again, do not delay. I understand, you know, sometimes we wait on things and we just got to wait for our money to be free. Some of our money is in jail. Some of our monies are tied up, so I get it, okay? And I'm not telling you to spend any type of bill money, any type of tithing money or anything. If you can make it, all I'm just stressing is that you don't delay. If you can make it, if you can afford to register, don't delay, because tickets are selling, and again, it's limited seating. Hopefully next year we will be able to do it bigger next year, but this year it's limited seating. So please don't hesitate. The cost is $150. That does not include transportation. It includes everything else: food, your beverages, ministry. We have surprise guests. We have guest speakers. We have other surprises. We have us. We have prophetic teaching. We have prophetic prayer. It's just going to be an overall amazing time. The women are going to come together. We're going to build each other up. We're going to network. We're going to share our stories. We're going to build, okay? So I do not want you guys to miss that opportunity. I really want to see the Perry Star ladies, the Perry Star family, my day ones that have been with me on Periscope when I first started. I really can't wait to meet you guys, but it's open to anyone. So if it's not something you want to do, but you know of someone that would like to participate in a women's retreat, a Christian women's retreat, please spread the word, show the love, okay? Share the love, share the information, and they can take advantage of it. So don't delay. Please don't hesitate. If you have any prayer requests, send your prayer requests to the group brave38@gmail.com. If you have any dream requests, send your dream requests also to the group brave38@gmail.com. God has gifted me in the area of interpreting dreams. If there is revelation there in your dream, God will provide it. If there is no revelation, I will not give it. I don't force a revelation or interpretation where there isn't any. So that's just a little disclaimer. But if you have a dream that's been on your heart and you feel as though it could mean something, please send your dream request to the group brave38@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much. This is the last day of the training. I am getting prepared, guys. I am getting prepared for developing a lifestyle of prayer, the second series of developing a lifestyle of prayer. That is a training. That will be a paid training. That will be like a 6-week training, a 6-week course that will come sometime in August. We also have the I Am Eve, the Eve experience, the Eve experience coming up this summer too. So please just keep me in prayer, but I'm working on it. God is, just doing great things, and I'm just excited about what he's doing and where he's taking me. The journey is real. This is not a game. Everything that you see me do truly is what God has called me to do. It's just something that I will do no matter what, no matter the support, no matter the likes, no matter of anything. So thank you so much for all those that have supported me and those that come and watch and those that share. Your support means a lot. Also, I am on Instagram at Out of Prayer Into Purpose. That's O.O.P.A.I.P. Okay, again, that's O.O.P.A.I.P. I'm also on Twitter and YouTube. The link is on this page for the YouTube channel, and the Twitter account is Out of Prayer Into Purpose. So be blessed, guys. I'm out. Enjoy your day. Be blessed. Enjoy your week. I pray that your week is successful. I pray not only that you can be a blessing or that you receive a blessing, but you can be a blessing to someone else. Oh, and I also have another Facebook page, and that's Pass the Mic and Testify. So please visit that page, like it, share your testimony, share your story. You just never know who you could touch. All right, guys, I'm out of here. God bless.